That's my phone, man.
In real life situations, it would have been a lot quicker than that. Now watch this.
All right, so he went into the store over there. I think he's got his target. Now he's pretending to look at some magnets. He's standing next to this guy in this green pants. Oh. He just reached in with his hand behind his back. He just took the phone. He just took the phone. He's got it.
I'm gonna go give it back to him.
Yeah, give it back to him.
Oh, pay attention.
That's crazy. Let's find someone.
Spot I scoped out earlier was the skate park over here. Because if you look, everyone's close together, they're not spaced out, and they're preoccupied watching the skaters.
I see, so they're all distracted because they're looking a single way.
You know, you bump into someone over here on the boardwalk, it's gonna be like, why is he bumping into me with all this space? We look for moms with kids, maybe, you know, purses, not paying attention, they're checking on the kids.
All right, let's go see what you got. He's over at the skate park right now, looking like he's watching the skaters. But I think he's got a target over here. Looks like he's walking up to someone right now. He's right behind someone who's holding a kid.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah?
I was looking for this smoke shop right here, but I couldn't figure out where it was. I was looking everywhere, but the GPS isn't working.
He's asking her for directions, maybe. So I think I just saw him take it. I saw him, oh, he just took it, he took it. She's literally still helping him with directions. She has no idea, no way. Oh my gosh.
It's a nice one, it's got a little crack on it.
That's crazy.
You know, when you bump into an unsuspected person, and it's almost like a sleight of hand, you bump and grab at the same exact time. And then there's also the distraction where you can have someone distracting for you, or you can use something that's already happening as a distraction.
And that's when you were asking someone for directions, you were distracting them.
Exactly, you gotta think on your feet.
Well, what are some tips for people to prevent getting pickpocketed?
The number one is just pay attention to your surroundings. Always kind of be aware of what's going on. I think I do personally, when I'm walking, I'm constantly touching my wallet, you know, because I'm paranoid of someone doing it to me, you know, because I know how easily it can be done.
The next former criminal made his living breaking into houses,
Choosing his victims, walking through their front doors, and taking whatever he wanted. Most burglaries don't happen at night. They happen in broad daylight, while you're at work, while the kids are at school, and while the house looks empty. And for years, Mario Ponce was the guy walking through that door. Mario, you started breaking into homes as a teenager. What made someone's house an easy target?
Well, it's easier than people think. You see that house over there? Piled up newspaper, mailbox overflown, no car in the driveway for a couple of days. It's an open invitation.
So once you picked a house like this one, how'd you actually get inside?
Well, first of all, you don't want to look so suspicious. So what I wear is a construction vest. Come on.
How does this vest
process could help you protect your home.
What other things do you look for to get inside?
Usually houses like this have a basement. You could check that. If not, your last resort is to go through the upstairs window. And those ones are always open.
Wow. So where's the first place you'd head to?
Kitchen. Usually they keep a spare key there. Come on. You know, usually people keep their key in a drawer here, and there it goes.
Now, why are you looking for a key?
You know, just in case I want to come back. You know, they have a lot of nice stuff here, and I definitely want to be a continuing visitor, you know? You see anything you like?
No, man, I don't do the robbing.
You know what I mean? They got good taste in a lot of stuff.
You're gonna take their drinks?
Yeah. For later on.
She reads the forged email that I have to show that I have authorization to be here, just to test them to see if they'll still let me do my thing. And she reads it, and then she looks at me and she says, okay, I see this, but this is for the bank next door. What are you doing here? And what did you do to our computers?
When you hacked into the bank, what were you able to see?
That's the thing. It's like once the system's compromised, it's like I'm literally just like the user who's logged onto the system. I can see anything that's on that system, anything that's on that network. I can look through clients' records. I can see their debt. I can see their transaction history.
You could see how much debt people had? I've actually been getting a lot of messages from my viewers about debt lately. Medical bills, credit cards, personal loans. That's why I'm happy PDS Debt is this video sponsor, because they actually help people get in control of their finances. Did they just let you go?
Oh no, it took me over 4 hours. And as soon as they found out that I was not supposed to be there, I mean, within minutes, I'm in the general manager's office, sitting at his desk while there's 7 people speaking Arabic very angrily around me. It took 4 hours not to end up in Lebanese prison.
Interesting. Hearing what happened really reminds me of how much PDS Debt helps its customers. They don't just throw you into some generic program. First, they run a free debt assessment to understand your exact situation, your savings, income, everything. Then they lay out personalized options that fit your budget and goals. And it's not just banks, right? It's also individuals. You could hack someone in a place like this, right?
One of the things you see in the movies is like they try to make it all complicated and look like it's all this code floating around. No, it's just a matter of searching certain kind of devices that can take over a network. And I have several of them with me right now.
For some people, PDS Debt can help by providing debt consolidation plans, combining everything into one manageable payment. No minimum credit card score required. Get a free debt analysis right now at pdsdebt.com/lawbymike. It only takes 30 seconds. That's pdsdebt.com/lawbymike. This is not Jason's laptop. It hasn't been tampered with. Jason, show us what you can do to it.
I've got quite a selection, it's like of what I can do with it. Everything I'm pulling out is a hacking device.
Really?
No matter what it looks like, it will not equal good times for your network.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
You use all this to rob a bank?
I like to have options. It's like, but yes, every single thing of these can be used to rob a bank. I'll go up to a receptionist or an assistant to a CEO. These are my normal looking hearing aids. They're actually my real hearing aids. I'll be in a suit looking all professional and I'll go like, can I charge the hearing aids on your computer because the power on the wall is too powerful? What monster's not going to let me charge my hearing aids? I plug it in and then it's game over. You're compromised.
All right, so all I do is just plug this in and we'll attack my computer?
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe.
Just plug it in.
Wow. All right, let's see what happens.
No one's touching the keyboard, nothing up our sleeve.
What? Look, it just opened something. Oh man, it's like typing all this stuff on here. If I let you charge those hearing aids, you can take the data from my computer?
I can take all the data from your computer. I can take your identity. I will have all your stored passwords. I will have all your surfing history. And while you're still on the machine, I can still control it without you even realizing. I can find the information just on your social medias to like be able to call the bank, give them the password reset questions that you probably have, change my voice, change the story, and make them actually reset passwords. I have done that over the phone.
So basically, you can ruin someone's life because they decided to plug in a single charging cord.
I can ruin someone's life. I can destroy a company based off of these kind of attacks.
So what can people do to protect themselves from this?
Number one thing is don't plug into things into your computer that you're not aware of, that you didn't buy, you don't know. And another thing that you can do is like multi-factor is amazing. It's like password managers are amazing, but attackers are also now finding ways to bypass that with the human element by spamming multi-factor authentications until someone gets tired and says accept when they shouldn't. So it's all about the person being aware and just not being in a hurry and just doing it without thinking.
Slow down, think about it.
Yes.
All right, Jason, thank you so much for breaking this all down and bringing all this equipment.
Thank you for having me. I really love the opportunity to educate people almost as much as I love robbing people. So thank you.
We've seen how criminals steal from your computer. Now we're going to see how they...
Been to a gas station or ATM, one of these has probably been sitting on top. Okay, well, we could go inside and I'll show you how it works. I normally target low-income gas stations whose clerks aren't really aware of what's going on.
What time of day do you normally do this?
In the daytime, around 5 or 6, that's when most people get off work. That's when the clerks are more busy.
How do you get it on without the clerk noticing?
All right, so I usually have my friend just come in here and distract the clerk. So I'll tell them, go in there and go get a pack of batteries or something. Take it to the batteries, and then it will just clip right on, and then I'll just walk right out.
How long does it take to put that on?
Literally 1 second.
And you get their PIN, you get everything?
Everything.
Wow.
So once the skimmer is on, I can get information on credit cards, on visas, on anything you name. It will come right to my phone. It's Bluetooth.
And you get this anywhere in the world?
Yes, no matter where I'm at.
What's the longest you had one of these on collecting information?
My longest is 8 months.
What's the biggest thing you ever bought with stolen cards?
The craziest thing probably was Disney. I did that for my son's birthday. I bought his flight, his hotel, and everything we did in the park was basically free.
Did you ever think about the people whose money you're spending?
Sometimes I feel bad, but it's a part of the game. So it's like, do I care? I do. But it happens to everybody. It happened to me.
Wait, you got scammed? You didn't check to see if there was a skimmer on there?
My food stamp card got scammed for $300.
On a similar thing? A machine just like that?
A similar thing.
So why don't you do it anymore?
I don't do it anymore because I have a kid now. I want to elevate my kid to be a better person than I was.
That's a great reason. Now that you're on the other side of it, what should people do to avoid falling for this scam?
I would say mostly try to use cash. Your card information literally can get anywhere, even at ATMs, gas stations, corner stores, Walmarts, anywhere.
Are there any tips for people to find out if a skimmer is on the machine?
You could feel around it to see if there's anything clipped on it. And there's another way is if you put your card in, and then if you wiggle it, the top of it would wiggle with it because it's a little bigger.
When you scan your phone on it, does that work?
Not really.
It has to actually be inserted.
Inserted, yeah.
So that's another big tip for people. Do the tap cards if you have one. What about credit versus debit?
I would say use credit more because debit, your money is going to be automatically gone. Credit, it got strong security on it.
Zane, I appreciate you sharing this info. It's not easy admitting to the damage we cause, but your insight may save someone from becoming the next victim.
We've seen how criminals take from our wallets, our homes, our computers, and even our accounts. But this next man, he was on the FBI's most wanted list.
Hey, Matthew. All right, let's get straight to it. How does someone steal a house on paper?
It's actually very easy. You can find out anything you want. If you have someone's address, you go to public records. It's available to everybody. I can find out your name, when you bought the house, how much you bought the house for. If you have a mortgage on the house, I can find out your interest rate and your payment, all based on going to public records and looking that information up. Step 2, I would create a survey and I would go out and I would survey homeless people. I would ask for their name, date of birth, social security number, enough information for me to then order their birth certificate, social security card. I can then take a fake identity or synthetic identity, anybody I want. And what I can do is I can create a title to that house in that person's name. I then record it. It takes the name of the person that owns the house and it puts it in the new person's name. I can satisfy any mortgages by creating additional fake documents. So now I own the house. Step 3, I could put that house on the market. I could sell that house. I could refinance that house. It's not nearly as difficult as it should be.
What type of tools would you use to pull off this scam?
Let me show you. So we got driver's licenses. Obviously, you need passports. Also, you would need credit cards. The other thing is I would have burner phones so that if the bank needed to verify employment or that they had money in the bank or anything along those lines, I could grab the phone and it would have a little information sheet and I would know this phone goes to the bank. I would pick it up and act like I was from their employer.
All right, so how did you get caught?
Dateline NBC News was coming out with a special on me and I knew that was about to happen. So I decided to go to Australia. And what happened was I was having people that I knew cash checks for me so that I could get a couple $1 million as quickly as possible in cash. My girlfriend at the time confided in one of her girlfriends and that girlfriend called the Secret Service and for a $10,000 reward, she turned me in. They watched my house for 3 days and one day I showed up and they jumped out of the cars and get on the ground, get on the ground.
Do you regret pulling these scams?
I would say I don't have an overwhelming amount of guilt that I should have just because I have antisocial disorder, just like most criminals do. I don't have an overwhelming amount of guilt in that aspect. What I have guilt for is I lost the opportunity to have a relationship with my son. I was not there for my parents in their elder years.
But now you're on the other side of it and you say that people still fall for this scam all the time today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's easier to do now than it was 10, 20 years ago. The only way to really stop this scam is to monitor your title. Most public records out there allow you to sign up for a system where they will notify you of any changes to your title.
So if someone's watching this or their family owns property, what are some of the steps they can do to protect themselves?
Probably the best course of action is to go to a monitoring service that will monitor the title of your home for you, and a lot of those services actually act as an advocate and will help correct any damage that's been done by a fraudster.
Matthew, I appreciate you coming by and sharing your insight. Hopefully this protects someone from becoming a victim. If you want to see more videos like this, click the video here, and thank you so much for watching.
There's some big threat out there.
There's no use fighting.
You are gonna help.
What if your favorite YouTubers were charged for their crimes? From a YouTuber speeding in a school zone to another getting banned from half the world. I'm breaking down their craziest moments and the legal consequences, starting with Mr. Beast. In December 2022, Mr. Beast uploaded a video that skyrocketed to over 1.4 billion views. In it, he challenges someone.
If I give you $300, would you fly to Paris and bring me back a baguette?
Flight included?
Yes.
He's thinking about it. Oh, he stuck him in the economy? Come on, Mr. Beast.
I can't believe she's actually getting 12 baguettes right now.
I hope Mr. Beast is hungry!
Oh, there it is. But here's the issue. That last part, it's illegal. Right here, this shot of the Eiffel Tower lit up at night is where things get tricky.
How is that illegal?
Well, France has a unique copyright law. Most countries allow you to film buildings that are visible from public spaces, a concept called freedom of panorama. France does not. For some monuments, you have to wait until their copyright protection ends, which is 70 years after the creator's death. The Eiffel Tower's copyright actually expired in 1993, but the lights they added in 1985 are still protected. What does that mean? Well, as a tourist, taking a photo for personal use is totally fine. But if you're a YouTuber like Mr. Beast, using footage of the lights to make money through views on the video violates French copyright law. So technically, Mr. Beast broke the law. And if the company that operates the Eiffel Tower decided to enforce it, he could face fines up to 300,000 euros and up to 3 years in prison.
Do you think they'll actually go after him?
I mean, probably not, as they don't seem overly concerned with enforcing the rule. And even if they did, he likely wouldn't face any fines and would instead just receive a cease and desist letter asking him to take the video down. However, the same cannot be said for some of the YouTubers I'll be covering later in this video who committed much more serious crimes, such as a YouTuber who physically assaulted someone and another who put his cameraman and many others in serious danger.